bolted off as quickly as rabbits. See, it's actually accurate. Other people are saying that it's spot on. Pull yourself together. Tanjiro hugged Zenitsu, who had bent over and curled up like a shrimp, then forcefully pulled his cheeks. His intention for doing this was snap Zenitsu back to his senses, but unexpectedly the latter started squealing. What? What are you doing? You need to get a hold of yourself, as if I can, and it hurts, you know. Don't give in to the fortune, Zenitsu. I can't do it. Didn't those two girls say so as well? I'm going to die today. Wuhehe Zenitsu had fallen into the depths of fear, and he even let out a bone-chilling laugh. Just as Tanjiro was at a loss of what to do, Inosuke, who had kept quiet all this while, clicked his tongue, saying, "Ch, what a bunch of embarrassing minions. Both of you not talking about that moron Minitsu, Kalyudro. Didn't you listen to what that old had said properly?" He moved his boar head towards the two. One side of Tanjiro's brow frowned slightly. "Inosuke, you mean? Shonen refers to a man encountering disaster because of his luck with women, right?" "Ah yes, that's what it is." That was the kind of face they heard that Zenitsu had. "Do you think it's possible for this guy?" "So it has to be a bunch of hogwash," Inosuke said in a resolute manner. "I see." After hesitating for a while, Tanjiro nodded. "The both of you are too much." Zenitsu threw a tantrum. "Don't you two think you've gone overboard? So, are you saying I have no luck with women? That it's not possible for any girl to like me? Never mind about Inosuke. Tanjiro, you feel the same way as well? And to think you have a kind face. Damn it." Zenitsu yelled at the top of his lungs and was close to shedding blood tears. "No, that's not what I meant." Forcing himself to say something that did not come from his heart was unbearable, and Tanjiro, who could not lie, was flustered. He raised his voice and said, "Anyway, let's quickly return to the butterfly estate." Shinobu was there. If Zenitsu could hear Shinobu gently telling him it's just fortune-telling, nothing to worry about, he would definitely calm down. As long as they make it through the night, he will completely forget about this whole fortune-telling thing the next day. Tanjiro made his calculations. No. However, in the next second, Zenitsu suddenly yelled, "We can't return to the butterfly estate." "Tanjiro, why?" Unexpectedly, Zenitsu was against the idea. Tanjiro could not help but let out a confused expression. "Is there a problem? Do I have to explain? Do you really not realize it? There are 6 girls there, right? Listen carefully, 6 girls, okay?" Zenitsu counted them out with his fingertips. There were Shinobu, Kanao, Aokio, Sumi, and Navo. After Tanjiro heard those words he still could not understand. Inosuke also looked at Zenitsu impatiently. "And so, Zenitsu, if someone among them develops feelings for me, then what? What if one of them confessed to me? Then I'm doomed. And that girl would be too pitiful, right? Loving me would lead to my death. That's a tragedy." Even though Zenitsu specially explained, Tanjiro still did not understand. "This guy is still as gross as ever," Inosuke said shortly in a low voice. Tanjiro also did not know what to say to his pitiful friend. "I have decided." Then Zenitsu spoke in a serious whisper. "I will avoid girls completely for the whole of today. Tanjiro and Inosuke, you're both in charge of protecting me, in case girls fall in love with me. Do you understand? You have to give your all to protect me. I have to live for Nezuko-chan's sake. We might as well dump him here." "No, we can't do that." Inosuke and Tanjiro were having a short argument, but Zenitsu did not hear their words. Perhaps Zenitsu thought about Nezuko's situation. Warm tears filled his eyes as he dived deep into his own imagination. In the eyes of passersby, it definitely looked gross. "Then let's find some place to ditch him." "I already said we can't, Inosuke." "It's all right, Nezuko-chan. I definitely won't die. I will survive this crisis and bring you happiness that's unparalleled in this world. Marry me without any second thoughts." Zenitsu, who was gushing tears because of his own fantasies, gripped his fists tightly and completely ignored Inosuke's biting words and Tanjiro's troubled expression. "Welcome." Right at the moment they stepped into the shop, a female staff member approached them with a cheerful smile. This was a cafe that faced the main road. As Zenitsu refused to return to the butterfly estate and Inosuke was hungry, in order to fulfill both their requests, the group came to this cafe. However, right after stepping into the shop, Tanjiro understood that this decision was a bad one. "What do I do? There's girls everywhere." As expected of a fashionable cafe in a big town, there were female customers everywhere. Adolescent girls who were dressed nicely all looked in their direction from afar. The female staff member was wearing a western apron outside her kimono and walked over with a broad smile. A gentle gaze peeped out from her neatly combed black hair. "How many people?" As expected, once the waitress finished speaking, Zenitsu immediately grabbed onto Tanjiro's right arm, grabbed the battered talisman given to him by the elderly woman with his other hand and started trembling. Not only that, he let out a threatening growl. The smile on the waitress' face froze. "Sorry." At this time, just like before, it was Tanjiro who was in charge of bowing and apologizing. Please, take a seat inside. The waitress used an unusually high-pitched voice to bring the trio to their seat. She was terrified to the point she did not even take note of Inosuke's forehead. However, this situation in Zenitsu's eyes was one where a young girl had a crush on him and became shy. What now, what now, what now, what now, what now, what now? Zenitsu kept mumbling non-stop. What if she falls in love with me? What if she falls in love with me? What if she falls in love with me? Zenitsu Thamiya, seeing that Zenitsu was panting in an unusual manner, as well as his sweating and shaking, even Tanjiro could feel his nervousness. The nasal sound and sweaty palms were especially outstanding. Zenitsu, can you calm down just a bit? Even though Tanjiro persuaded him, Zenitsu became angry as though his entire body spiked up. What are you talking about? Don't tell me my death means nothing to you. It doesn't matter if I'm not around. What kind of friend are you? It's not like that. How can I not be affected if you die? I just feel that there's no need to be that scared. It was a pity that Zenitsu treated his words as air. His whole body still shook and he kept muttering, what now? Tanjiro helplessly looked towards Inosuke, but he just snorted, having an attitude of I told you so. You should have listened to me and dumped him from the start. That's not a nice thing to say. Inosuke is the boss, right? That's true. Manitsu, let's go. I'll protect you because I'm the boss. Inosuke's mood suddenly became very good and he forcefully slapped Zenitsu's back. The place where the female staff brought the trio to was the corner table deep inside the shop. It was a brightly lit shop, but for some reason, only that area was especially dim and the air was a bit heavy. It was obvious that they got chased there so they would not affect other customers. But that was a good thing. Zenitsu quickly sat on the inside seat and hugged both his knees on the chair. Tanjiro sat next to him and Inosuke sat opposite him. After picking up the menu, I can't understand this. That was what Inosuke said right at the get-go. This word is read as ai-su-si. It has the I in Inosuke. Oh, it's my I. Then this is read as ku, and this is ri in mu. Tanjiro was reading each word one by one as though he was teaching his younger brother. Yin yin. Beside him, Zenitsu suddenly let out a scream. Tanjiro jumped and asked, what is it? Zenitsu lifted a shaky finger and pointed at a girl who was seated far away. That girl froze when she saw me. She must have fallen in love with me. Sorry, I completely cannot understand what you're saying, Tanjiro said with an expression of regret. Then Zenitsu shook his head with an exaggerated action. But everyone is looking at me. The waitress might have fallen for me. What should I do? Tanjiro. Zenitsu had a tone of despair. This guy can't be helped. Inosuke, even though he was already very gross in the first place, he's now sick to the bone. He doesn't even know what's fantasy and what's reality anymore, right? Inosuke, hearing his friend icily speak the bitter truth, Tanjiro quickly stopped him with a light voice. Then, another waitress came to take their order. Excuse me, what would you three like to order? The other party was obviously wary of Zenitsu. Perhaps it was for that reason. Her voice was shaky and a bit high. Zenitsu saw her, misunderstood the meaning again and started to shake. Yee. This person kept stealing glances at me. She must be planning to confess. So scary, so scary, so scary, so scary.